Dun, da, 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 da. Hi there. Oh, sorry about that. How rude of me to start off a conversation with a burp. You know, in some countries, they actually see that as a compliment. I have a journey. Always a journey with me, always an adventure. But I've decided to invest $6,000 into a program. And that's very interesting because I have always been where I have doubted my own value, right? Doubted my value, did not know how to get myself out there in the way I wanted because I was trying all the things that didn't work for me because they work for other people. So how the fuck could they work for me? All those things, right? I tried to see what I could provide, felt like I couldn't, created a bunch of things, never did anything with them, had them lay there for years. Literally, this is a funny story that is very shameful to me. I created a course and a huge one as well. I made hours of my life disappear into that. I have no idea how long I spent developing that shit. Videos, worksheets, all the things. And I paid about $1,000 a year for that platform that I was doing it on because I was creating this very unique thing and all that stuff. A year passed, and I was deducted another $1,000 for that same platform. I thought, now I should do something about it. Holy crap. What the fuck? Here I am. I've gone 1 year without doing anything about this thing that I was so proud of. I'd done it so many times. I knew it was working because people said it was working. Why didn't I sell it then? Why didn't I put it out there? Why didn't I do anything to actually make that investment sound even remotely sane? Because who the fuck pays $2,000 for nothing? You see, at when they deducted my money again, I didn't do it. I didn't implement the things. I didn't release it again. I don't know how deep those money issues were. They were probably very deep. And there's this thing that where you can't really ask for the same. You can't really ask for money if you haven't yourself been in a situation where you have to pay money that you don't really have, or pay money that hurts. That's a very good way of saying it because it has to hurt. I paid my first coach $600, and I was like, it was $200 a month. I had no idea how to get that. This was before I made the video where I said I had to make a choice: $3 of gasoline or $3 in the bread, because I can't have both. It was bad. It was really bad. And a lot of things shifted after that. I went down to the government and I said, I don't want your freaking money, your prison money, making me feel like I'm a prisoner in my own life when I don't even see the bars I'm held in because I know that I'm just going to get money from not doing a shit, and I can just sit here on the couch eating all the potato chips that I want, watching all the shows that I want, game as long as I want. I could do all these things because I know I'm going to have money coming in. Horrible mentality. Horrible. I didn't see that because I was in the system. So who am I to blame myself? Who am I to blame you? No person should be blamed for something they don't know. It's an unknown unknown. It's subconsciously incompetence, right? You don't know what you don't know. So you have to learn what you don't know. And I did. By saying to them, I took a chance. I was really down on my luck. I didn't have any money. And I said, fuck you, government. I'm not going to get your money anymore. So I freaked the fuck out. Who wouldn't? Like, I dare you. Go down to the government right now. If you are in that position where you are getting money for not doing shit every month, I dare you to go down and say you don't want that money. Yeah. It was painful. I had to do a lot of things. I was a sex chat operator for some time, and I got some money, but it was blood money. It was filthy money. It was tainted money. I could not do that anymore. I had to do something that actually made me feel like a decent person, right? Probably received more dick pics than any 14-year-old teenager. I feel bad saying that. I really hope they don't start that young, but mine have not reached that era yet. I still have an adventure ahead of me. Here it is. After that, I started to get into all of these other things. And I started to learn things. I started to gain skills, and those skills ended up in me having a ability to show those skills for other people and getting paid for doing those skills for other people who didn't want to invest time into learn those skills. Basic service providing. I know how to paint a house. You can pay me. I paint house. Done. Right? So I had skills that I was just offering online. And then I realized I have to learn how to offer things online. I don't know if you saw that. I have a friend who I've been tossing out of this office many times. I don't want to kill you. Go out. Nope, he's not. He's going to be a recurring thing in this video. Didn't know how to do anything online. So I had to learn that. I got into marketing, I got into sales, I got into psychology, I got into all these things on social media, algorithms, YouTube, how to create things, how to talk, how to communicate, how to create a presentation, how to be dramatic while on camera. All the things, so many things. And these things got me more. Now I saw that I could do something. I literally have the power in my hands to give people a moving image. Yeah, I wasn't setting the bar really high, but I was learning, right? So I was doing all these things to learn how to do my craft. And the ball kept rolling, right? I kept doing things. I kept learning new things. I kept seeing things that I was not aware of before, like people earning $200,000 per month. I was like, but how? And then I learned how. You know, if you have a system, if you can provide something of value to a lot of people, it doesn't take a lot. If you want to be a millionaire, that's 1,000 people paying you $1,000, right? And then you can just keep on chopping that. For me, it really became apparent when you can literally create a community based on what you love. For me, was psychedelic mushrooms, right? So I run Scandinavia's largest group on psychedelic mushrooms, Norwegian Flame. It's 7,000 people in there right now. And sometimes I have to pinch myself, knowing that this was actually something that happened. And then I started to think. I do that thinking sometimes. What if I create a Discord community outside of that group? That would be interesting, because then I own the audience, not Facebook. Because Facebook, it's a platform, you don't know what they're going to do with their terms of service and shit. So I wanted my own thing, and I started to create that. All of a sudden, it started to grow. I was like, holy crap, people are actually coming into this. And so I created videos, a lot of videos online, just sharing my thoughts, sharing my past, sharing my experiences, my insights, my worldviews, my philosophies, my thoughts. I shared so many things. And people look at me as I'm crazy because I'm sharing things. That shifted who I am, though, because I started to share things, getting to know myself better, and I shared vulnerabilities. I shared me crying on camera. I shared how my life got to crap sometimes. Shit hit the fan so many times, and I just shared that to the camera. That taught me how to share things to the camera. And now, here I was with all these new skills, all these new things, and I was having all these new ideas as to how I can take all of these things that has happened basically as a consequence of me failing a lot. How can I take those things and make something amazing from it? Then I got into blockchain and technology and all these things, VR, Web3, AI. Let's not go down that rabbit hole just yet, because we have a lot to think about. So I figured, what if I had a thing? I can shake people's realities. I know I could do that because I had people coming to me and saying, you shape my reality. It's shaken now. I don't know what to believe anymore. Because they got new ideas. You know, the FML project was always 3 levels of FML. FML 1, fuck my life. FML 2, fuck my life. Because you learn something, and you could take that into new things. You can see new things based on what we talked about in terms of energy, how to manifest your reality, all these things. It kind of makes you wonder, what else is possible? So it's very much like a fuck my life. But FML3 is amazing, because FML3 is fuck my life! It's amazing. You know, it's really simple, but it really carries a point. But it was also FML for fulfillment, motivation, and love, because I thought a lot of people are going to ask me, what is the FML? Well, it is fuck my life. But I couldn't tell that to all the people in the world, because people today have a knack of assuming, a knack of judging, a knack of being offended. So I thought, fuck my life. Fulfillment, motivation, and love it is. It was actually financial, mind, and location freedom, I believe. Something like that. It makes sense that as well, right? But I love Norse mythology. There's an axe behind me. it's really not even remotely connected to the fact that I like Norse mythology, but it's an accent. It has a story. The thing is, there are the runes in Norse mythology. There are 3 runes that I found very interesting. Those are 𝐒𝐒, Manars, and Lagus. Did you see that those are also FML? I know. Now, those have a very specific spiritual, magical meaning. I know. We could go there as well. There is a little fruit fly in here that really... Those I don't like. Probably have a mission, though. Here it is. 𝐒𝐒, Manars, and Lagus are more or less... I'm going to simplify this, and if you know about runes, don't judge me. I haven't gone that far yet. I have the book. I have just not written it yet. I have not read it yet. 𝐒𝐒 is like man. 𝐒𝐒 is like power. It's strength. It's the warrior. It's something that is the mind, the man, the person. Manars was cattle. Is that it? Or it was the other way around. The thing is, I'm going to go through the three things as well as I can remember, and you just follow along if you want to. Manars was also the spiritual meaning, the unity, the allness, the right, and Lagus was the consciousness and the insights and all these things. Roughly, paraphrasingly. The point is, together they form a bind rune, and the bind rune is FML. Actually, it's not really. I messed up on the M. Don't crucify me, because it's supposed to be older 𝐓𝐡𝐞, but this is newer, I think. So the M is different. It's not the actual Monarch's rune, and it's bugging my mind. I'm not going to do anything about it. More or less, the combination of these runes made transformational importance. Because if you think about the fact there was unity, there was humanity, there was consciousness, there was all of these things in those runes separately, put together, they basically do the same thing. But they amplify the collective meaning of all the runes. So now you have this rune symbolizes...
This rune symbolizes transformational consciousness and realities and paradigm-shifting new thoughts and experiences that is going to impact the universe and the cosmic cosmos. And you're able to create your life and all that stuff.
It basically meant very badass transformation. It was horrifically amazing to see. I say horrifically specifically because sometimes when I realize what these things are, it boggles my mind because they were too good. Admit it. So far, you just hearing about FML in the FML project, which is a Norwegian legally registered company, paying taxes and, VATs and shit. Who knew that was gonna happen? Oh! Okay. The point is, I started to do these things, and it kind of happened. I thought the things, they happened. Didn't know why, though. Now, today I can explain why. But the thing is, it led to new things. So I saw this community, and I wanted to do something, and the math started to pop up in my head. And I figured, they like psychedelic mushrooms, but they suck at finding them. Literally. You cannot imagine how many people every single year ask, are these Liberty Caps? No. Those are clearly red with a big ass stem, and they're called fly agaric, or like these different Amanita muscaria. What the fuck is the... in Norway we call them fluesup, and everyone knows what a fluesup is. Fly shroom. Fly agaric. I don't know what an agaric is, but here's the point. People were very stupid about these things. That is not to say they're stupid. They didn't know what they didn't know. But many of them showed no interest in knowing what they didn't know. So they just assumed they knew. And then they ate the freaking things. And they commented in the picture. I hope they were some Liberty Caps because I ate them all. Before he even got a comment. You don't do that. So I saw an obvious problem that I could fix. I created the Liberty Cap field guide. Because that made sense to me. And I figured, well, I can do this quicker. So I did a microdose, I took some medicine, and on that microdose, I wrote a freaking field guide. It took me 8 hours to create that entire thing. If you look at it, it looks fucking amazing. It's 40 pages long, and it goes into painstaking detail. Just saying that as a testament to the fact that microdosing can do some really interesting things. Point is, I sold that for $14, 14 euros actually. And I was like, this is a good deal. I like this. I could stand behind this deal. So people bought it. Who knew? I used my community that I had spent years of just pouring value and just creating these things. I created a website, I created systems, I created a Liberty Cap map that was dynamically updated through an API on Google Maps. I know. Some of you were like, damn! Some of you were like, damn. Some were like, what the damn? You know? Thing is, I created a lot, and I figured that is a freaking good price. So I tagged everyone. You know how amazingly irritating those tags are. And out came, about that time we were probably 3,000 or 4,000 people. Out came the people. This was not actually the first time I did that. The first time I did it was for the FML experience, Unleashed a Viking Within You, and people hated it. They called me a cult leader. They came out with the nastiest shit. It was personal development on a completely new level. Never before have I tried to justify my existence for so many people for no fucking reason. The point is, I learned from that, and I created something for the community, specifically for the community, within the topic of the community, as the admin of the community, and I charged for it because I had created the community. A lot of things, right? I tried to be, again, justifying the fact that I was selling something to my community that I had built. It's weird how those things happen, where you don't see the value you provide, and you start thinking, $14 now, that might be too much. Actually, euros, because the exchange rate. So goddamn, I shouldn't do that. It took me ages to just hit that publish button. Just, there we go. Now I can be happy. And so they got infuriated. But I made a lot of money from that. $14. I made a lot of money. I made money enough to keep us afloat in the bad times. And I saw that this has opportunity. I mistakenly added a link one time that was for a yearly subscription for the spot map. And people paid $20 a pop, and mistakenly, like, seriously, I didn't even intend to do it like that. I wasn't done with the post. I was still trying to figure out how can I make this even more justified, you know? But it got posted, and I made 500 to 800 euros in 12 hours. And I didn't do anything. I just sat there in the couch hearing this cha-ching, 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 this notification on my phone. I was astounded. Astounded. But people hate being sold to, so I didn't do that a lot. I didn't use the community, even though it has, like, out of now 7,000 members, 5,000 of them are monthly active, which is a huge engagement rate. Like, you can't really, it's insane, actually. If you look at the analytics for most people on Facebook having groups, that group is freaking valuable, and we say no to 50% of the people coming in. It's a miracle to behold, literally, if you see it from my perspective of where I come from, of where I see myself going, of where I want to take the community and the freaking laws in the country and all these different things that I'm trying to achieve. Yeah, I think that if you're going to change anything, you need people behind you who are supporting your vision. And the only way I could do that really was to really make fucking die-hard fans of the vision, and those are hard to create at scale. You have to really be personal. You have to be giving of yourself to the degree where you shake their lives, change their paradigms. What I said before, you really change everything. At least that's my humble opinion right now. I'm constantly seeing new things where I'm going, and that's the point of this video. Thing is, I was doing more and more things, and because of that community and those people that I met through it, we started to create more things, and we started to have these retreats. We're not going to say retreat, actually, because retreat is something you go away from. This is an experience. That's why we call it the tribe experience. So we met physically. They came flying in from Norway, all, from different parts of Norway. We met in the south, and we just transformed universes again. Together this time with quantum meditation, being on a podcast, freaking true life. God damn, that was an important and insane day that just shook so many shakes. It started everything. That day, the 11th of November, 11/11/2022. Ooh boy. We just wanted to see how would it be in a group, fucking going down ice bathing in the middle of Christian sand. and then sitting and meditating for 20 minutes in November with people going around with hands in their pockets and caps on their head and freezing, and we were sitting there. I was literally sweating for 20 minutes. And I could not believe what I just experienced. Energy out of my hands that was painful. I felt this string in my back that just erected my spine and my head. I felt this beam just coming from my head. It was insane. I can't really explain it. And people asked, what is the secret? And we had to say, we're still building this plane in the air. We have no idea. Now we do, though. Like now, the formula has been cracked, and I'm able to recreate these experiences. And it's insane. So the point of that being that I've been doing this so long now, creating so many things and seeing incremental results all the time. But I've been at this, I'm just keeping my head above water until I have a little bump, and then I can live like, oh my God, it's insane, it's fucking real, blah, blah. And then, reality sets in and you're just above water. And I was sick of that. I was sick of going from having barely nothing that month to having 8,000 euros in one transaction entering my account. And I was like, there are many weird feelings that comes into play when that happens. And it was just by me being me. It was just by me helping another person, telling what that person should pay to have what they asked from me in terms of what I could offer, putting the price on what I thought that was worth, having them saying, oh, it's actually worth more. But, this is a good deal. And I was like, oh my God. It just kept on going from there. It just kept on fucking rolling. And the point of all of this is not to brag, because literally it took sweat, blood, and tears over several years alone. And if I had other people who could guide me, it would have gone so much faster. Which brings me to the fact that today I took a choice. I wanted to see if I could just shift my chapter like that. Like I've said it all the time. You can shift your entire reality like that. And I have had this past year, I've been working on a few projects that gave me a lot of clarity as to where I want to focus my attention, what I want to do in the future, how I want to do that, and with whom. All these things, these experiences that I wanted, how can I create those? So I really took a lot of time to really consider, who do I say yes to, who do I say no to? And that ended up in me working with people who have global impacting inventions. Two different technologies that is going to revolutionize freaking huge things. Non-light pollution light bulbs. Signs with no light pollution, even though they look like they're neon. How can you explain that? You can't see, like, the freaking candlelight literally have more light pollution than the fucking neon sign hanging behind it. How is that possible? Well, it is, and it's going to shape the world. So that inspired me. That got me to think, oh, I want to work with those people. I want to work with people on a level where they're inventing new things that's going to shape this planet. That would be something that would be amazing to do. Can I, though? And I came in, and I was basically just a glorified technical assistant. A web designer, if you will. But I had so much more to offer, so I started to have conversations with this guy. And we got to bond, and we started to see the different realities that we both had, and we started to learn from each other, and it started to grow, and all of a sudden, it's a beautiful partnership. And then that's one. The other one is going to change sustainable energy. Sustainable energy. The entire freaking global system of energy. And the way he has been doing that by serving governments, by creating hundreds of millions of dollars for the companies that he has been working with, is insane. The man thinks on a completely different level. And I did not even meet that man through facing the man. I met him through his partner, who was my client in a shitty coaching program that suffered from the whole copy pasta-nitis. Well, let me tell you a little bit about copy pasta-nitis, because it literally just became a thing 2 seconds ago. Yes, you were there as it happened. Copy pasta-nitis is when you learn something and you just copy-paste the fucking course content into your own thing and you rebrand it, putting your freaking name on it, Googling what would be cool if you say this in a different way, like wealth creator 5.
Wealth Creator 5.0. Gonna realize your dreams in 3.2 months.
That was a horrible tagline. You know what I mean. And people sell these empty dreams because they just have an empty dream that they want to make money. And they do. Many of them do. They make millions by fucking crushing the hopes and the dreams of those people who actually wants help. I worked in that company. I worked in a company like that for 8 months. Yes, they had some successes, but those people were fucking very rare. All the other people who were not ready for that, who got sold into a high-level program that offered everything they would ever need, but was actually just meant to milk every single penny out of them, they actually got money from the government. Hi, I have this course that I want to invest in. Please, it will help me achieve my dream. Can I please get some support from the government? Yes, we will cover that fee for you. I hope that it will work, because if it doesn't, you're going to have to pay the money back. And then they get the money. And then they enroll in the program. And then they are just one out of hundreds. I had hundreds of clients every single fucking day that I had to attend to. Yes, we were a team. The team was amazing, but the team also had different roles. And if you were the responsible party for having these students going through the program and achieving success, you damn well have fucking work for it. You damn well better work for it. So I worked every day, all day, every week, all week. I was captivated. I was chained to this fucking chair because I had over 100 people every single day that I had to check out and help through and handhold and just cover and inspire and motivate and teach and reach out to and bring up and all these things. Create fucking assets. I created things for these clients that took me hours. I created systems and funnels and websites and all these things that were way beyond my work scope. But I had my role. So I had to stay there alone and just do a worse job so that I had time to go through all these people. That was basically the deal. Couldn't take it. After a while, I had become friends with these clients. So I just had to step the fuck out because it was going against everything that I believed in. And when you see the inside of these fucking things and you think that there's so much success behind it, but really it's just an inflated ego saying that this is what it is about, do my thing, is my way or the highway, fuck you. You know, that kind of thing. Imagine coming into a program where you've seen an ad of a person talking, much like me right now, and you think that I have wise shit to say, something to teach you, and you buy into my shit. You come into the thing that I have, but you don't really see me. You meet one coach that is going to be your assigned group coach with 100 other clients. You meet that person, but you only meet them to say hello. And then after that, you're being put into an automated course that just is supposed to show you what works. And the people are literally just saying, we did this. Copy, paste our fucking emails. This is the email. This is the sales script. This is what you have to say. This is what you have to do. Of course, that went against a lot of people's values because most people are not superficial fucking people who's just going for money. Now, I don't say that they are already or always going for money either, because some of these people actually have something to teach, to share, to provide value through, to help people, to transform, but they get too greedy. They want more, and they had to sustain this huge team that they built without the money to actually sustain the team. No communication in the compartments, because why? Why should you talk to your teammates? The freaking monthly, the team meetings were the visionary talking about his vision. Not inspiring people to see his vision. No, talking about his vision, what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve. And people were burned out. I mean, I was working all day. I could not take it. Could not take it. This is the first time I've talked about this. So I left, and the contract said that I was not going to help any of the clients, and I kept that promise. I didn't reach out to anyone, but one of them reached out to me. And she had me in one of the higher ticket programs where they pay $1,000 a month just to look at this guy talking about himself once a week. Didn't really get a lot, right? But she got something from me. And because of that, she reached out afterwards, and we have been working together ever since. And I've helped her. She has helped me. We have been really good partnership. It's been a friendship. You know, good partners, but a better friendship. And I became friends with both her and her husband. And, you know, now their family, their tribe. And we are helping each other, supporting each other. to get to the next level. So here's the point of this story. Today I figured I'm going to take that next level. I'm going to shift the chapter. And some time ago I talked to Jesse Elder. You have that. It's another video on my podcast, or on the YouTube that was supposed to be a podcast episode, but I didn't upload it to the podcast because I'm one man. But I talked to Jesse and I got to know him, and I really saw that he is basically me a few steps ahead. And I know the value of investing in yourself. You know, taking the emergency fund of your girlfriend's money that she got from selling her car, less than €1,000, to buy for a fucking coach for €600 with nothing coming in. That was a fucking hard decision. But because it was hard, I actually applied everything that I learned. And I started the 100-day challenge that turned into SAGA, you know, self-awareness, growth, and adventure. I've been talking about that for fucking weeks now. I'm proud. It turned into Ragnarok. It turned into Legacy AI. It turned into the Legacy Mastermind. It turned into the Legacy Forge, where we create Legacy Forgers. It created a lot of things. So I know the value of investing in myself. Now I'm going to invest in Jesse. I'm going to buy his course for €1,500 that I don't have right now. So I figured I'm going to create that. I'm going to prove to myself that it is possible. And I jumped on a call. And during that call, we had a lot of amazing stories to share, a lot of wisdom to share. And I literally said, listen, this, because now we know what this could be. And I was literally just talking about SAGA, just a little fraction of SAGA, showing him just a little snowflake on the mountain, basically. And by the end of it, I knew that he saw what I was talking about. So I said, I'm going to ask you for a thing that's going to be uncomfortable for me. Really setting the context there, huh? I'm pre-framing the thing that is going to be uncomfortable, because it was not. Like, why wasn't I even saying that? When it came to the question, I said, I have to go and create €1,500, or I can ask you for a loan or an investment of €1,500. Or actually, because the next phase of our project is exactly €1,500, I could ask for a advancement on that and then just do the work tomorrow, and then everything is good. But, you know, those are the 3 doors we have right now. And it was true. Like, it was literally, but that is the case. That's the case. I knew that I had provided value. I just had to really realize that I should ask. If you don't ask, you're never going to receive, right? So I did, and he's going to wire those over tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to invest in Jesse Elder. And with that, I'm going to launch into the next level, because I know that he's sitting on a few nuggets that really interesting to see. And the way he forms words, I know that I'm not just going to get value from what he has to offer, but even if, and I think that this is also a very big opportunity, that I know what he has to offer. I already know the content. It's just me not having taken action. And the fact that I'm taking action on him is in itself a proof of concept of what I should have learned in the program. But I'm seeing it as something more. I'm going to get closer to Jesse Elder. You see, I'm going to talk to Joe Rogan. And right now, one of my clients is living on Maui. She's not really my client. She's a friend. She has never paid me. But we have talked a lot about SLS, about the whole sputed and the do the spew. Things that I'm not going to cover in this video because it requires a video all by itself. But we talked about a lot of things, and she went from one situation to the next situation, and she's now living her dream life in Maui. Coincidentally, 4 kilometers from Oprah, her vacation mansion in Maui. And I said, listen, you're creating this artistic, amazing, transformational yoga studio in art and consciousness expanding themes, which is going to be very interesting and new. And I think that if you create that in the way I see that you're creating that, because you are a very creative person and you have the resources and all that stuff, if you do that, then why shouldn't Oprah just step out of her house for a little bit to see this place that everyone on Maui is talking about? Spoiler alert, there's not that many people on Maui. So many people will know very quickly. She's going to step in. She's going to say, hey, are you the owner? This is an amazing place. And she's going to be like, yeah, Oprah, you want a coffee? And then they're going to get a coffee. And then they're sitting down and talking about these things. And then all of a sudden, my friend is going to say, you know, I know this person, this guy from Norway. And actually, all of this happened because of one thing that we talked about. And it's very interesting. Do you want to hear more about that? So she talks about it. And then Oprah's probably maybe gonna be like, you know, I would love to talk to him. Get him down here. And then my friend is gonna be like, yeah, but he has one condition. He thinks that you know Joe Rogan. So if you could just call Joe Rogan, and then he, as in Joe Rogan, can just, why do I say he and Joe can just take a plane together and talk on a plane, and then they're gonna have these, they're gonna get to know each other, and then when they come down here, we can have one of those tribe experiences that they've been talking about, where we're gonna go through that same thing that we have been going through, but into this program, and then we're gonna shift realities together. How what do you say, Oprah? Are you down for that with Joe Rogan and Tor? And I saw that as something like, as I was explaining it, I was seeing it in my mind. And I know what happens when you see something and you plan for that something and you feel and use the energy around that something. And then you know where you're going, because that little vision is just a tiny piece on that huge vision. And if you really create a vision that is larger than anything you can conceive of, almost any step towards that vision is not going to be enough. And it's not going to be in the fact of, oh, no, it wasn't enough. It's not going to be a lack thing. It's going to be like, I have to do better. 100,000, that's not enough. I need 250 million. I actually said $25 million. That's what I want, or euros. 25 million euros. That's what I need, I think, for Valhalla Phase 1. And I really want that place. Like, all of this is just for Valhalla. And it's not, what do you think? I'm really not into the whole religion aspect of Norse mythology. Like, I'm not, Hail Odin, by Thor's beard I will do this. It's not like that. It's more of a, I love the stories. I love the stories from that fucking era. I love the things they did. Loki and his fucking mischievous mind, and Thor and his temper, and all these things, and the respect. What happened back then? It was more equality than we have now. It was more respect for each other, and people, they had honor. I mean, just think about this. I love people who face their fears. Imagine sitting your ass in a dinghy and you're heading west, and you think that above the horizon there is a world-encompassing a snake, a serpent that's just going to eat everything that you try to pass over that mountain or that ocean. The amount of courage that took to set sail and actually reach the destination. They did some horrible things. I do realize that. Different times. But they did that. That requires an extra little oomph, So I wanted to honor that. I wanted to honor the Hovamol, which is like the wisdom of the North. It's like, don't enter a house with your neck bowed, because you never know where the sword is going to come from. Logical things. Don't trust everyone. If you speak you out of your turn, if you try to convince yourself that you know something, then you speaking about it is just going to prove your ignorance. Better to shut up than to show everyone how stupid you are. I never really got that one, it seems, because I have created a lot of videos where I don't know shit. But it has been part of a bigger goal. And I think that has been one of the main keys in my transformation, to be honest. But you see the point. I'm bringing that era, that theme of the Norse into today with what we know about quantum physics and epigenetics and energy and psychedelics and the holistic consciousness theories and SLS and all these things, and combining those into new education, new knowledge, new transformational events and experiences that is actually going to do something good for the planet. And when you think about the context that I have now with, no light pollution emitting signs and lights, sustainable energy, those are just two people that I have been contacting more than the other people who are also fucking inspiring. The things that are waiting in the future is insane. And it's just because I invested in myself. It's just because I faced the fear. I walked the talk. I do the spew. I spewed it a whole bunch, and now I'm living in SLS. And all of this has also provided me with this energy and ability to just jump into flow when I need to, on demand, on camera. You wouldn't look at this right now if you weren't captivated. I mean, who the fuck has the time today? What with bringing up all the masks that we have to keep up for appearances, caring about what other people think about how we should live life, think about other people's thoughts more than we should probably, fear our future or being held back by our past, not accepting the now and the love and the energy and the whole fucking insanity that we are able to achieve if we just fucking try. That's the thing. Most people don't try. They don't want to fail. They don't want to look like a fool in front of other people. They don't want to have other people criticize their thoughts. They don't want to have other people ridicule them for not knowing enough about a certain subject. They don't. There's so many things. So many fears. Irrational fears, nonetheless, because what the fuck? It's like you're not really. Why are you scared of a fucking bee that is summing around your head, like buzzing around your head? If it hasn't stung you, there's no real need to be afraid. And the fact that you are not afraid leaves an energy that the bee is not threatened by. So it's not going to sting you. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just starting. It starts with you being calm, in balance, aligned with yourself, which is where the horn comes in. That is insane. Explain this. Yeah, exactly. I had no idea I was capable of doing that. But I was, and that was not even the longest one. And I think that there's an adventure waiting to be happening on that one. But I tried, and I just kept on going. And so many times I've seen this. People saying that the people who succeed are not the people who achieve material wealth, or the people who fail are not the ones who fail to reach their dreams. It's those who fall down and decides to stay down. Failure is not falling down, it's deciding to stay down. And it is your will to get up and continue to try that it will ensure your success, because at each and every fucking failure, you're going to learn something fucking invaluable, priceless. Like, holy shit. Just do the things. If you do the things, and if you go past the whole, oh, but what if? No, I can't do that because, oh, but I don't have a paper that says that I'm able or certified or credible or able or allowed to write this or say this or think this or do this or experience this or feel like this. It's your life. And you're able to create the most insane things simply by knowing what you want and then going for that thing. Through the lens of love, I see that there has to be some contingencies almost, because some people need to learn how to be a common, decent human being. Some people are doing it for instant gratification, and they think that, why the fuck am I not making more money? I'm doing the thing. And then they are going to create stupid shit or bad shit, depending. Money enforces the person you are. If you're an evil fucker, you're going to do evil shit. If you're a good fucker, you're going to do good shit. I like to think that I'm a good fucker, because I have these ideas that is going to help people see the things that I have learned globally. And I'm not saying that I'm going to change the world. That's the goal. But I don't think that I should have these people with the Messiah complex? They will say that I need to change the world. I don't feel like this is that, because I just see what will happen if you put things into the right frame of mind, into the right perspective. It's like an inevitable consequence of what you're doing. And in that case, is it really a Messiah complex? Because you're literally doing something that could change a whole bunch of lives, and you know it because it's a repeatable pattern and people are saying it. I hate it sometimes, and I know I have to get over that. I feel uncomfortable when people are saying, thank you for doing that and that and this and that, because now this is possible. Now I live this life, or whatever. I feel uncomfortable because who am I? I simply shared a few ideas that I learned on my painful journey to avoid you going into the same fucking pain. That's it. And when you do that, you really don't feel like you're doing anything, because it's a memory. It's an experience. So what the fuck kind of value does that have, right? But it does. It has fuck tons of value, because people see you for you. They don't have to assume. You don't have to put up the mask to please people you don't like. Or work a fucking job you hate to pay for a house you're never in because you're at the job that is paying for it. Today, people should know about the opportunities that everyone has access to. That's all I think. Just ChatGPT alone. I mean, if you use it for more than asking stupid questions, you could literally change your reality overnight. If you dedicate time to do that and know about the questions you should ask. But people don't fucking think that they can, or they're too arrogant to see that they should probably ask someone for help if they have done something they never have done. You don't know what you don't know. It's an unknown unknown. I see this video became a lot longer than I thought. So I'm going to wrap it up. I know that right now I'm about to launch, and that is a very interesting time for me. I've already seen that I don't have time to answer everyone who comes to me because I don't have time. Like, if you're answering 200 messages every day, you're not really living life. So I figured I'm going to be taking my time when I need it, which means a lot of people are not able to talk to me as they did before. And now with this happening, I know that that is just going to be even more impossible for people to do. So you have three options. You can either continue what you've done so far, just continue to get what you've always gotten because you continue to doing what you've always done. Meditate. Take what I've taught. Actually, I'm not going to do it. Jesse, see what I did there? I was almost doing the exact same thing as you was. But it is true. I mean, I don't want to say the same thing you say. And I think that this is subconsciously to you, Jesse, because you're going to see this. But you have three choices. Continue what you've been doing. Try to do it all by yourself by being the grinder, instant gratification nation hustler. Or you can go to saga.theseppola.com and see if it is still as cheap as it was when I last checked, which was €297. 2 weeks ago, it was €100. People got in. They are gonna fucking die when they see what's gonna come. In a short while, it's probably gonna be way more. In the thousands. But I'm gonna try to make it as accessible and as fucking valuable and as much of a no-brainer that I possibly can, so that everyone has a chance to learn everything. But you can. You don't have to go into Saga. If you want to learn this, all the things that is required. I have been trying to sprout out videos that has not received a fucking view for a long time. Like 30 views on the entire system, for instance. That's interesting. But I've shared all the things that I'm trying to convey. All the things that I'm selling in this boxed format where it's easily accessible to the things that you need right now based on my experience of where you are. All the things are all over the place on my YouTube channel or my podcast or my Facebook wall. All the things. It's just when you really think about the things that you shared and you're starting to put it into a system, it's a lot easier to really go through and not be overwhelmed by the hundreds and thousands of hours and God knows books that you have to read through to get these things. So it's easier. It's time saver. It's a time saver. But it's just the entry. I'm going to have these things for $200,000. I was thinking a year, but I think that where we're going, I won't say it's impossible to have a $200,000 a month thing. I mean, if you're solving a huge problem for Elon Musk, then he's going to pay for that problem to be solved. And he has the money for it, just doesn't have the time. And for that, I'm going to see what's possible. And I'm going to show you. And that's basically why I'm creating this video right now, because it's my emotional anchor to where I showed you. Where I just said what I was going to do, and then I did it. And now I'm going to use this video as my, oh my God, I don't want to go through this all again. Watch this video. Take it from me. You don't have to. This is just what I found from my experience. If you talk to a whole bunch of people all the time, you're going to see that you have some repeating things. And if you create a video for that and name it appropriately so people can find it, if they search for it, or you put it in a system where maybe you have it on YouTube for everyone to find, but you also have it in a folder where people come to you and they ask, so what is the deal? What's the story? And you can just send them the link. Easily accessible. I have a stream deck. I can push one button. Bam! And 3 things happens. Bam, bam, bam! And I can continue to sit here and philosophize about life. That's probably not even a word, but I'm going to leave it with that. I hope to see you inside of the tribe and inside of Saga. And if you are a fellow legacy forger, I salute you, I see you, I love you, I will meet you for hopefully. In Norway, it's forhåpentligvis. In English, it's hopefully. Those kind of got matched. But hopefully I will see you. And until then, you have a fantastic day. And you take care of freaking tribe and your family and all those people around you, because trust me, your network is your net worth. I love your face. Again. See you in the next one.